Tonight we're going to look at John, 1 John, chapter 3, verses 16 through 18. Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. But whoso hath this world's goods, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him? My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. The main message we're looking at here is how we're supposed to love each other as Christians. This reminds me of a time when me and my wife had just taken in my dad, and we were sitting at the VA, and my wife was pregnant with our second son, and my wife was upset because we weren't going to be able to go on vacation, and it was a very trying time for us, and money was very, very tight. We had to take my dad in for PTSD, and we really didn't know how we were going to make it. And as we were leaving the VA, a stranger came up to us and handed us a check. Now, this check allowed us to go on our vacation and pay our bills. And we had no idea who this person was, but we knew why he did it, because he told us that God told him to give us this money. And he acted as a brother did. Now see, he was a good neighbor, just as Jesus had told about the Samaritan who helped the one who was wounded in the road. All these self-proclaimed Christians had walked by him and not helping the Samaritan. All these godly people would step to the other side of the road, but when the Samaritan saw him, he not only picked him up and tended to his wounds, but he also put him on his horse and carried him to an inn. He also then paid for that inn, and then paid for him to stay there to be healed. Now this was the example that Jesus had taught us, was how we were to treat our neighbors and brethren. Now, we also see in verse 16 that Jesus gave us an example of perfect love, and that is when he laid down his life for all of us. And this is exactly how we're supposed to take in our mindset that we're supposed to do for our brother. That we are supposed to lay down everything we have, including our life, for our brothers. Now, verse 17 is very clear that if we see a brother who is in need, say someone needs a coat, or someone needs some shoes, or someone needs $100 to pay for their power bill, we are supposed to help that brother out and give it to him. Now, in verse 18, we see that we're not just supposed to say to him, "Oh, brother, I love you," and then go on about our way as our brother is still in need. We are supposed to help our brother in deed and not only in word. And what people don't understand about this is Jesus told us time and time again that it's better to give than to receive. See, God wants you to have the blessings of being able to give. He wants you to have that blessing. Yet time and time again, most people believe if they give that they're losing something, or in actuality, they're gaining something. So, what we take away from this message is that we need to be willing to not only talk about how we care about our brothers and sisters, we are also supposed to act on those thoughts and their needs and their desires. Thank you.